Are you wondering what's going on in the real estate market here in Santa Cruz County? I am going to go over it for June 2023. I'm going to talk about statistics, and then I'm going to talk about a few things that I've experienced and some kind of crazy things that I've been seeing. Because as I spoke to a local real estate agent this morning out on broker tour, I said, this market's a little strange. And she said, Michele, this is one of the weirdest markets I have ever seen. It's like the real estate market has just been turned on its head. But I want to start with statistics because I think there's a little bit of the background that I'm going to use in my later stories and anecdotes about the market. So let's start right now. So last week we had 52 new listings. Today we have 56. 15 price reductions last week and 22 this week. What is that from? Are these properties not desirable? Is it the weather? The weather has been so gloomy, which is really hard for a lot of properties in Santa Cruz, especially the ones in the trees or in the hills in areas that tend to be a little darker anyway. So the May-June gloom has been a little rough, in my opinion. But 22 price reductions. Buyers, maybe that means, this is your market. Maybe not. We'll go over that in a second. Pending and contingent, 45, 52 last week seems really healthy. I mean, it's down a little bit, but we also are coming off a holiday weekend, so we have some people that weren't really in town. We're going to see those numbers bump up a little bit for the pending and contingent, probably for this week and a bit more for next week. Now, I had someone tell me that they believe the market is slow between May and about June 15th because of graduations. And that is a time of transition for people. Not only are their kids getting out of school, but that's actually when they decide to move. Like, okay, well, they're done with that school. We want to move. I don't really know if that's true. I do know that I typically am busier in July, August, and September, right after the busy spring. So May, I could say it's a little slower. If I was finishing up a lot of deals, it would be in May from the spring, and then starting again probably and closing more in July. So it could be true that it's just seasonal. I really don't know. Transactions canceled, none last week, 2 this week. That tells you that maybe those price reductions have actually stuck, and the buyers that got those properties are staying in contract. And we don't have a lot of people losing their jobs, which if you see a lot of transaction canceled, then you go read the notes, and I've seen them. Buyer didn't qualify for their loan because of jobs. And it's happening. Not tons, but I've seen a couple. So I don't know. Sold 31, same as last week. So we're doing something out there. Expired and canceled 4 last week, 4 this week. So people decided they didn't want to have the property on the market anymore, and they took it off the market. Active inventory last week, 258. This week, 261. We're just still kind of hanging in there. We're never really getting past that. We're just like 261. We're not going to probably not even going to get 300 on an active week this year. Probably. So I talked to a lender, and we may see that pending and contingent number get really steady and the transactions not cancel, right? They stay in escrow as the interest rates change, because there are lenders out there that truly believe the interest rates are going to get down in the mid 5s. They believe the feds are going to stop raising the Fed rate because of some of the damage that is actually done, that they're going to hold back. I don't really know if that's true, because right now they're still talking about it, but I did read some financial stuff that said it really looking that way, that they're going to pause on these interest rate hikes. So that could cause a bit more stability in the mortgage market, then cause those interest rates to go down a little bit. Then you would see even more buyers come in. But where are the sellers? The sellers are like, yeah, I'm going to sit on the sidelines. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to get the highest possible price, and maybe I'm not ready to move. Or I refinanced my loan and I got a nice, sweet interest rate of 2 to 2.25. Why would I sell? I don't have anywhere to go. And right now, I'm looking at a huge federal tax bill, right? Capital gains, which Jimmy Panetta, our own local senator, I think he's just a representative, is working on getting a tax reduction for people who sell, but I believe there's an age restriction on that. I think you need to be 60 plus on that. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done a lot of research on it because they're just scratching the surface on this, and I don't know if it's really going to become a thing. But that's something that sellers think about. They think, well, I'm going to have a huge capital gains tax bill, right? So, and I've got a good interest rate. Why would I sell? Where would I go? So, we're kind of stuck in this limbo land. We have a few sellers that are selling out there, and we have buyers that really want to get in there, but they're looking at the interest rate. So it's kind of like, we're kind of at the old West, the OK Corral, kind of all looking at each other, waiting for 12 o'clock, see who's going to come out for the duel. Anyway, it's probably a terrible analogy, but it's what it seems like. Things feel kind of stuck. But I wrote an offer 2 weeks ago here on the west side of Santa Cruz, and the agent said, I think I'm going to get a couple offers. I think it's going to go over. I think it's going to do this price. And she got 9 offers. It went over by $250,000, all cash. That was completely unexpected. Not the cash part, because we do have more cash buyers in the market right now. Remember, cash buyers come in when the interest rates go up. You see the amount of cash buyers come in. The stock market isn't doing exactly what they think it should be doing, so they're okay taking it out and putting it into real estate. Those are people who have, a couple different things and different portfolios, feel more comfortable buying at this time, and they might get a better price that they like, a lower price, a lower sales tax price, property tax price. Sorry for all the mistakes, but I have a lot I want to say. So you have cash buyers in the market, quite a few. And I actually made another offer last night on a little property. It had 3 cash buyers. It was under $300,000. And this property would be a great rental. So the investors kind of really came out and they were ready to do battle. And, we didn't get it. And I think it's really because we really needed to go higher and that, not every buyer is willing to do that. And that's not what happened. So, we'll see what else comes on the market for this person. But, there are pockets of the market that are just white hot, really busy. But here's the other side of that. And this is what I thought was really interesting is I had an open house last Saturday on a listing of mine, 158 Belvedere. It's open this weekend. I won't be there, but you should go see it. It's super cute. And I have another really sweet one in La Selva Beach that is just really a nice house. It's big and it has room for a pool. I love that house too. I spend time there. I like it. But this open house had 24 groups and they came through and they were so quiet. They were like tiptoeing through this house. It was like they didn't want anybody to know how much they liked it, but they had smiles on their face. And then they come and tell me, wow, this is a great house. It was literally one of the most quiet open houses I had ever had. And it reminded me of the 2 offer situations that I had been in where those kind of quiet, where you don't hear anything when you're at the open house, or you go to a property and you don't see a lot of business cards like agents haven't been showing it, it would give you the impression there's no interest or there's nothing really happening in the market. And I've talked about this plenty of times. Don't ever think because you're at a property and people are walking around mum or there doesn't appear to be any showings that you're going to be the only one to show up. I tell everybody who writes an offer, even if that agent gives you the indication you're the only one, you will never be the only one. Another offer will always come in. If I could put that in caps, maybe I'll put that in caps somewhere. As always, another offer is going to come in, and it might not be as good as yours, and you might still win, but there's always another one. It happens every time. It just always happens when I'm writing offers. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm really getting up there in time. I'm so sorry about that. Please stay to the end though, because this is what I think is very interesting. I've been seeing some foreclosed properties. Saw a pretty nice house in Watsonville. I mean, it needed some work because it had kind of been beat up. And then there's another one that's coming along, which is actually a family friend. Now, I think he's going to pay it up and make good on it. But both of them had something in common. Their foreclosure problems started in 2015 through 2017, I looked through their records and saw that's when they had trouble. Now, if you remember back, there was financial real estate market pundits that were saying we're going to get a huge wave of foreclosures from people who had loans and adjustable rate loans from 2007 and on. But they're going to have their adjustable rate mortgages come due in 2017. And that's when we're going to see a huge wave of foreclosures. Now, yes, there were some. There was. But the investor groups got them. Barely any just buyers were able to just, make offers on them as if they were a bank owned and the bank was selling them, because that's what I also used to represent. Nope. The investor groups got them. So sometimes you wouldn't even know they were foreclosures. But now I'm starting to see those trickle in. Those banks are seeing equity now. And if they made deals with these people now and they still haven't paid their mortgage, for them, time is up. They're coming for the house now. They know there's equity, and they're gonna go after these people now. They're not gonna wait anymore, and it's a little scary because they now seem to mean business. So what I tell people is, of course, get in front of it. If you can make it whole now. Don't wait. If you can't, sell it at a price where you can get a cash offer so you can still get some equity. They're out there. They're a little cloaked. These are some of the properties that if you are looking for a deal, you need to hook up with a real estate agent and ask them to see if they have any, because you're not going to get them on the west side of Santa Cruz. That's just not going to happen. The investors grab those. So there's some weird stuff going on in the market. The market seems a little sideways. There's some pockets of the market where things are kind of sitting. Other stuff is just hot, hot, hot. You wouldn't even have any idea how crazy it is until you put in an offer. Interest rates may go down a little bit. Inventory is kind of coming up, but it's being gobbled up pretty quick. I mean, it's a crazy place out there. So, of course, if you need any help, please give me a call, email me. Text me. I'm happy to help you. Also, check out my Instagram channel. Follow me on Twitter. I have Santa Cruz information on Twitter and post kind of fun stuff on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook and, of course, on my website, Michele Sells For You, or down below here on YouTube. Let me know whatever help or needs you might have. I'm happy and here to help you. Bye.